does Alex Jones fall on the spectrum of the firmament?
I've not heard him mention flat Earth ever.
Ever?
No, I've not mentioned it.
Doesn't that seem like a bit of an omission from him?
Yeah, he's like he's missed something there. But
I actually
cognitive dissonance, you know.
See, I think. Well, I've not heard him talk about that. I've heard him talk about NASA though, and the stuff he said about NASA has been
moon landing fake, as far as he's concerned.
Yeah.
So logically, it should be an easy step. So that's the thing I love about flat Earth, because when you take NASA out of the picture, there's no evidence. So it's like
when you disregard the evidence, there's no evidence.
Because it's like there may be a lot of things in the Quran that are true, but because it was written by a freaking dimwit that just you can't put any faith in, all of a sudden you have to just say, well, I'm going to need another source for that information.
Yeah, there's lots of things in the Quran that are true, such as, place names.
Oh, it's true.
But to be honest, I'd probably need another book to prove that it was correct. Like, I'm not going to trust the Quran, am I? Because it's so wrong consistently. You're not going to go, well, that part's probably true. You're going to go, well,
is this good?
This is from Russian vids. Alex Jones InfoWars deleted flat Earth debate with Eddie Bravo.
I think I know the debate they're talking about. Yeah. So here's the thing.
Because Eddie Bravo went on to the Alex Jones show for like 3 hours, which Eddie Bravo just put a massive heart on the whole time.
And he kept quiet for most of it, which is good. So the thing that I've heard Alex Jones talk about all this is that he actually likes NASA, and he doesn't think they're a fraud at all. So he basically he's got a lot more stock in NASA than he does in the Sandy Hook shooting. And he doesn't think that they landed on the moon, but, and I've heard him say this, he thinks that they did go into space and orbit the moon. So he at the very least thinks that the moon's real, for example, which is a big step to admitting some of the problems.
Well, where else do lizard men live?
I've played Destiny. So he thinks that they went around, they orbited the moon, but they didn't land on it because they thought it was going to be too dangerous. So that's why they staged the moon landing, because they thought it was too dangerous. But they
did find that footage in the NASA archives of them filming it in a studio.
Yeah. So here's
the footage is fake. It's just a fact. There's no way a stationary camera can follow the ship as it goes up. It's a stationary camera on a tripod, and it's analog. How do they get the information to the ship? It's an analog stationary camera. It's just so stupid.
They tied a bit of string to a pulley.
Yeah. And you say this to people, oh no, it would have been digital. No, NASA have told us what camera they used. It's an analog stationary camera, and it followed them as they flew off, and somehow they got the footage. It's so amazing.
It's obvious, they left the guy behind.
Yeah. And he threw it. Catch!
Man on the moon.
Yeah.
The government's obviously been working with the lizard men. The government is the lizard men.
Can you imagine if they left you behind? They just fucked up and left you behind.
Yeah.
You were just like, I wasn't expecting them to leave.
It's curious,
You're just like, I'm fucked.
It's curious. There's never ever
How much
been a
air have I
movie.
got? 3 minutes? Nice.
Yeah. There's never been a movie made of the moon landing.
Well, it'd be too boring, wouldn't it?
No, it's the most spectacular thing men have ever done, apparently. Why is there no movie of it happening? There's a movie of it not happening, Apollo 11.
Spectacular than Caitlyn Jenner.
Okay.
Oh, that's the most amazing thing that man's ever done.
Settle down. Old joke.
The interviews with the astronauts afterwards, it's so bizarre. The moon landing is
they say,
the best conspiracy.
What was the best part about landing on the moon? And they go, actually going there?
Yeah. And they get asked questions, they just get angry. There's the one guy that didn't want to be there. He was just like, he looked like he really didn't want to be answering these questions. Not like an awkward person, just like...
sweating.
Like he was one of those guys that the cigarette company have just paid to say it doesn't cause cancer.
Shit,
he knows he's doing
I'm gonna fuck
shit.
up. I'm gonna fuck up.
And he didn't want to be doing it. It's like years serving in the military, and here I am, an actor, saying I went to the moon.
So Alex Jones thinks that they did go to the moon, as in around it, but they just didn't land on it. So
I've seen no evidence that men have ever left the atmosphere.
So
the space station's still within the atmosphere. It's this side of the Van Halen belt.
it's in the
no one's gone past the Van Halen belt.
Well, Alex Jones thinks that they did, and if you look, a lot of the astronauts did get some pretty heavy cancer.
They had tinfoil on their head, didn't they? That's how they got through.
That's how they got it. Well, no, a lot of the astronauts died of cancer, like really high, like about like 50-60% of them got some form of cancer, like way higher than this is. Remember, this is like back in the 60s, 70s, so cancer rates were lower.
The Russians reckon they couldn't get through it. They'd pass out every time they got into it. They'd just see stars and everything would go weird and bright, and they'd pass out, and then they'd come back because they knew it was there, so they'd go closer and closer and closer, and they got a point where they couldn't get through. So that's why they never tried to land on the moon, I think. Oh,
this is a velocity thing. So as in, they could have just ramped up the speed and just kind of prayed for it.
Yeah.
And just got through. Because as long as you don't literally die on the way out, like you could black out, but you're on the trajectory, so you'll eventually wake up, and then if you catch.
Because the intriguing one is that the Orion team saying that they can't. They got to figure out a way not only to protect the astronauts, but to stop all the machinery from frying. So yeah, I don't think they've gone past the Van Halen belt. The closer you get to it, the higher it gets.
That was intense, bro.
Yeah, I personally think that there is a danger, but I just don't think it's that big. I think it's
danger. What are we talking about now?
Danger.
I think there's a danger there, and I think it probably does mess people up. But I don't think it's fatal dose. So I think you can go through it, and you will just fuck yourself up. But you can go through it. You can go and do whatever else, and come back to Earth.
Clearly, the Russians just valued their astronauts more than the Americans, and decided not to go through it.
Yeah, well, it could even be that the shielding was.
They didn't have shielding. They admitted that.
No, I didn't have like shielding, but it could just be that they just the hull was just that little bit thicker on the American ships.
Armstrong said he'd never heard of the Van Halen belt before. Yeah, surely someone would have known about it. Well, we went through it, so someone would have thought about that.
They did. They thought.
I think initially
it's best
said,
not to mention it.
Initially said we didn't go through that, and then they said, well, the moon's on the other side. And he goes, oh well, yeah, we didn't know about that. Something must have happened. It's like, not even good. It's like Obama had a teleprompter.